Much longer.
Are you feeling quite bad tonight, Uncle?
Oh, I think it gets worse every day.
Father, you better go home. Try to get some sleep.
Take to my bed, huh? You want to have me suffocate for good?
Go out for a little walk then.
Yes, go on. I'll walk with you.
I won't go till he's back. Tonight, I'm putting it straight up to the chief.
Oh no, Uncle, please. Let it wait.
Yes, Father. Wait a while.
I haven't much time to wait.
Shh! I hear him down on the stairs.
Are they gone?
No.
What's that you're putting down there, Miss Forsley?
Oh, it's just something that...
Here, let me see. Kaja?
Yes?
Why do you always take off the shade when I'm around?
You know it makes me look so ugly.
And you don't want that, do you, Kaja?
Not for all the world. Not for you to see.
Oh, poor little Kaja. Okay,
shh. They can hear you.
Has anyone been here to see me?
Yes, the young couple that want to build out at Love Strand.
Oh, them? Well, they can wait. I'm not quite clear on that plans yet.
They did want so badly to have those drawings soon.
Good God! They all want that.
They said they had such a longing to move into their own place.
All right. We know that. So they will make do with anything, any kind of a roost. Just a peg to hang their heart, but not a home. No, thanks. They can go find somebody else. Tell them that when they come again.
Find somebody else? You will turn that commission down?
Yes, damn it all. Yes. If that's how it's going to be, it's better than slapping a shark together. What do I know about these people?
They are good, solid people. Ragnar knows them. He's like one of the family. Very solid people.
Ah, solid. Solid. That's not what I mean. Lord, don't you understand me either? I will have nothing to do with strangers. They can find anyone for all I care.
Seriously? You mean that?
Yes, for once.
May I have a word or two with you?
Gladly.
Kaja, go inside a while.
Oh, Uncle, but...
Do as I say, child, and close the door after you. I don't want the poor children knowing how sick I am.
Yes, you're looking quite done in these days.
It's almost over with me. My strength, it's less every day.
Sit down. Rest a bit.
Thanks. May I?
Here, please. Well?
Yes. Well, it's Ragnar. He's on my mind. What's going to happen with him?
Your son. He can stay here with me naturally, as long as he wants.
But that's just the thing. It's not what he wants. He thinks he can't. Now, any longer.
Well, I'll say he's got a very nice salary. But if he's out for a little more, I wouldn't be adverse to
No. It isn't that. But he needs a chance to work on his own.
Do you think Ragnar has enough talent for that?
Don't you see? That's the worst of it. That I'm beginning to have my doubts about the boy. For you've never said so much as one word of encouragement about him. But then I think it can't be any other way. He must have the talent.
Well, but he hasn't learned anything yet. Nothing basic, nothing but drafting.
You hadn't learned anything either back when you worked for me. But you got along all right. Pushed your way up. Cut the ground out from under me and so many others.
Well, I had luck on my side.
True enough. Everything was on your side. But you can't have the heart then to let me die without seeing what Ragnar can do.
Is she the one who wants that?
Not so much, Kaja, but Ragnar talks of it every day. You must help him get some independent work now. I've got to see something the boy has done. You hear me?
What the hell? Do you think I can pull down commission out from the moon for him?
He could have a fine commission right now, a big piece of work.
He could?
He could build that house at Lostran.
That! But I am building that.
Oh, but you have no more interest in it.
No interest? Me? Oh, don't listen to what I say. Will they give Ragnar the job?
Yes, he knows the family. And then, just for fun, he's worked out the plans and the estimate, the whole thing.
And they like the plans? The people?
Yes. So if you just go over them and give your approval, then
they will invite Ragnar to build their home.
They really liked what he wants to do. They thought it was completely new and different. That's what they said.
Aha! New! Modern! None of the old-fashioned stuff I built.
They thought it was something different.
And then they came here to Ragnar while I was out.
They came to see you and also to ask if you'd be willing to give up.
Give up? I?
That is if you found Ragnar's plans.
I? Give up for your son.
Give up the commission they meant.
Oh, it's one and the same thing. So that's it. How about soulness? He ought to start giving up now. Make room for youth. For even the youngest. Just make room. Make room. Make room.
Good Lord. There is room enough here for more than one man.
There is not that much room anymore. But never mind. I am not giving up. I never give ground. Not voluntarily. Never in the world. Never.
And must I give up life without hope, without joy, without faith and trust in Ragnar, without seeing a single one of his works? Is that it?
Don't ask anymore now.
Yes, answer me. Shall I go into death so poor?
You have to face death the best you can.
Then that's it.
Don't you see? What else can I do? I am made the way I am. I can't change myself over.
No. I guess you can't. May I have a glass of water?
Oh, please.
Thanks.
Ragnar, come take your father home. Father, what is it?
Give me your arm, then we'll go.
All right. You get your things too, Kaja.
No, Miss Fosley will have to stay on a moment. I have a letter to be written.
Good night. Sleep well, if you can.
Good night.
Is there a letter?
Of course not. Kaja?
Yes.
Over here, quick.
Yes.
Closer.
What do you want of me?
Are you at the root of all this?
No, don't believe that.
But marriage, that's what you want now.
Ragnar and I have been engaged for 4 or 5 years and so...
And so you think it just can't go on forever, isn't that it?
Ragnar and Uncle tell me I must, so I think I'll have to give him.
Kaja, don't you really care a little for Ragnar too?
I cared very much for Ragnar once, before I came here to you.
No, but no more, not at all.
Oh, you know I care now for one, only one. Nobody else in this whole world. I'll never care for anyone else.
Yes, you say that, and then you desert me all the same. Leave me to struggle with everything alone.
But couldn't I stay on with you even if Ragnar...
No, that's out of the question. If Ragnar goes out on his own, he will be needing you himself.
Oh, I don't see how I can ever part from you. It's just so completely impossible.
Then try to rid Ragnar out of these stupid ideas. Marry him as much as you like. Well, I mean, don't let him throw over a good job here with me. Because then I can keep you too, Kaja dear.
Oh yes, how lovely that would be. If only we could manage it.
Because I can't be without you, you understand? I've got to have you close to me every day.
Oh God, God!
Kaja!
Oh, how good you are to me. How incredibly good you are.
Get up now. I hear someone coming.
Albert,
Oh, is it you there?
I'm afraid I'm intruding.
Not a bit. Miss Fosley has one short letter to write.
Oh, yes, I see that.
What did you want me for, Arlene?
I just wanted to say that Dr. Hardell is in the living room. Maybe you could join us, Albert.
Is the doctor so anxious to talk with me?
No, not exactly anxious. He stopped by to see me, but he would like to say hello to you too.
Yes, I can imagine. Well, then he had better... Yes, I can imagine. Well, then you had better ask him to wait a while.
And you'll look in on him later.
Possibly. Later. Later, dear, in a while.
Don't forget now, Albert.
Oh my Lord, she must think the worst of me.
No. Oh, certainly not. Not more than usual. Anyway, still, it's best if you can go now, Kaja.
Yes, I've got to go now.
And then you will settle up that business for me. You hear?
Oh, if only it were just up to me then.
Listen, I want it settled. Tomorrow the latest.
If it doesn't work out, then I'd rather break off with him.
Break off with him? Are you crazy? Completely? You break it off?
Yes, I have to. I have to stay here with you. I can't ever leave you, ever. That's impossible.
But damn it! Ragnar! Ragnar is the one that I
Is it more of Ragnar's sake that you...
Of course not. Oh, don't you see? Don't you see what I mean, Ida? Obviously, it is you that I need here. You above all, Kaja. But that's precisely why you will have to make Ragnar hang on to his job. Run along home now.
All right. Good night then.
Good night. Oh, wait. Are Ragnar's drawings in there?
Yes, I don't think he took them along.
See if you can locate them for me. I could give them a look, maybe, after all.
Oh yes, please do.
Oh, for your sake, Kaja, my sweet. Now let's have them in a hurry, you hear?
All the drawings are here.
Ah, fine. Lay them over on the table.
Good night. And please, think well of me.
Oh, you know I do, always. Good night, my dear little Kaja. Go on now, go.
Albert, I can't keep the doctor any longer.
Well, come in then.
All finished with the letter, Miss Fosley.
The letter?
Yes, it was very short.
I'm sure it was terribly short.
You may as well leave Miss Fosley and be here on time in the morning.
I certainly will. Good night, Mrs. Solness.
You've certainly been in luck, Albert, to have gotten such a girl.
Oh yes, she's useful in all kinds of ways.
She looks it.
A clever bookkeeper too.
Well, she's had a lot of experience this past 2 years, and then she's willing and eager to take on anything.
Oh, yes. That must be such a great comfort.
It is, especially when one is so used to doing without.
Can you really say that, Albert?
Ah, my dear Ali, no, I beg your pardon.
Don't trouble yourself. Well, doctor, so you'll stop in again and have some tea with us?
As soon as I have made that house call, I'll be back.
Oh, thank you.
Are you pressed on time, doctor?
No, not a bit.
May I have a few words with you?
Oh yes, by all means.
Then let's sit. Tell me, did you notice anything about Arlene?
Just now?
Yes.
You mean when she was here?
Yes, with respect to me, did you notice anything?
Well,
really, one could hardly help noticing that your wife...
Go on.
That your wife doesn't think very much of this Miss Fosley.
Nothing else. I could tell that myself.
And after all, it is not so very surprising.
What?
That she isn't exactly pleased that you enjoy another woman's company every day.
That's true. You're right. And so is Arlene. But it can't be changed.
Mr. Solness, couldn't you hire a man instead?
Just anyone off the street? No, thanks. That isn't the way I walk.
But what if your wife, when she is so delicate, what if she can't endure this thing?
Even so, I am tempted to say it can't make a bit of difference. Got to keep Kaja Fosley. Nobody else will do.
Oh, nobody else?
No, nobody else.
If I may, Mr. Solness, I would like to ask you something, just between us.
Yes, go ahead.
Women, you know, in certain areas, they have a painfully keen intuition.
That they do. So?
Well, all right then. If your wife simply can't bear this Kaja Fosley...
Yes, what then?
Hasn't she perhaps some tiny grounds for this instinctive dislike?
Aha!
Now, don't get excited, but really, hasn't she?
No.
Not the slightest of grounds?
Nothing except her own suspicious mind.
Aha. I realize you've known a good many women in your life.
I have, yes.
And thought very well of some of them too.
Oh, yes, that also.
But in this case, there's nothing of that kind involved?
No, nothing whatever on my side.
But on hers?
I don't think you have any right to ask about that, Doctor.
We were discussing your wife's intuition.
We were, yes. And for that matter, Arlene's intuition, as you call it, you know, to a certain extent, it proved itself.
Aha! Yeah! See?
Dr. Hadal, let me tell you a strange story. That is, if you don't mind listening.
I like listening to strange stories.
That's good. I guess you remember how I took on Notbrovic and his son here, that time when the old man nearly went under.
I vaguely remember, yes.
Because, you know, they are really a clever pair, those two. They've got ability, each in his own way. But then the son went out and got engaged. And then, of course, he was all for getting married and launching his own career as a builder. Because the young people today, that's all they ever think about.
Yes! Yes! They have this bad habit of peering off.
Well, but I can't be bothered by that. You see, I need Ragnar and the old man as well. He has a real knack for calculating stresses, cubic content, all that damn detailed work.
Of course, that's important now.
Yes, and he has to be out on his own. There just wasn't any reasoning with him.
Even so, he stayed on with you.
Yes, but now listen to what happened. One day, she came in, this Kaja Fosley, on some errand for them. First time she had ever been here. And when I saw those two, how completely wrapped up in each other they were, then the thought struck me. Suppose I could get her here in the office, then maybe Ragnar would want to stay put too.
That was reasonable enough.
But I didn't breathe any word of it. But I didn't breathe a word of any of this then. Just stood looking at her. Every ounce of me wishing that I had her here. And made a little friendly conversation about one thing or another. And then she went away.
So?
But the next day, in the late evening, after old Brovik and Ragnar had gone, she came back to see me again, acting as if we had already struck a bargain.
Bargain? What about?
About precisely what I had been standing there wishing before, even though I hadn't uttered a word of it.
That is strange.
Yes, isn't it? So she wanted to know what her job would be and whether she would be starting the very next morning, things like that.
Mrs. Sones, don't you think that she did that to be with her fiancé?
I thought so too at first, but no, that wasn't it. From the moment she came here to work, she started drifting away from him.
And over to you?
Yes, completely.
Oh.
If I look at her when her back is turned, I can tell she feels it. She trembles and quivers if I even come closer.
Ah.
She trembles and quivers if I even come near her. What do you make of it?
It's easy enough to explain.
Well, but the rest of it then, the fact that she thought I had told her what I had only wished and willed, all in silence, inwardly, to myself. What do you say about that? Can you explain such a thing, Dr. Pedal?
No, I wouldn't attempt to.
Then, the fact that she thought I had told her what I had only wished and willed, all in silence, inwardly, to myself. What do you say about that? Can you explain such a thing, Dr. Pedal?
No, I wouldn't attempt to.
I thought as much. That's why I have never discussed it. I thought as much. That's why I've never cared to discuss it till now. But you see, as time goes on, I'm finding it such a damn nuisance. Yeah, day after day, I have to keep on pretending that I am... and then, poor girl, it's not fair to her. But I can't help it. If she runs off, then Ragnar will follow out on his own.
And you haven't told your wife this whole story?
No.
Why in the world haven't you?
Because I feel that there's almost a kind of beneficial self-torment in letting Alan do me an injustice.
I don't understand one blessed word of this.
Yes, don't you see? It's rather like making a small payment on a boundless, incalculable debt that
To your wife?
Yes! And it always eases the mind a bit. Then you can breathe more freely for a while, you know?
God help me if I understand a word.
All right. So we won't speak of it anymore then. Now, you really think you've done me a neat... Now, you really think you've done a neat job of drawing me out, Doctor?
Drawing you out? Mr. Sones, I'm still very much in the dark.
Oh, come now. Confess. Because really, you know, it's been so obvious to me.
What is so obvious to you?
That behind this genial manner, you are keeping your eyes on me.
Am I? Why on earth should I do that?
Because you think that I am... Oh, damn it! You think the same as Aline about me.
But what does she think of you then?
She's begun to think that I am... I'm somewhat ill.
Ill? You? She never breathed a word of it to me. What is it that is wrong with you then?
Aline has got the idea that I am mad. That's what she thinks.
But my dear Mr. Sones!
Yes, on my soul, she does. And she has you thinking the same. Oh, I tell you, Doctor, I can see it in you so clearly because I am not easily fooled. I am not. I can tell you that.
I've never, Mr. Sones, never had the least inkling of anything like this.
Really? Not at all?
No, never. And your wife certainly hasn't either. I would almost swear to it. Swear to that.
Well, you are better not, because, you know, maybe, in a way, maybe she's not so far off.
Look, I'm telling you now, really.
All right, Doctor. All right there. Then let's not go on. Let's not go on with that. Each to his own. That's the best. But now listen, Doctor.
Yes?
If you don't think then that I am somehow ill or crazy or mad, that sort of thing.
Then what?
Then I guess you must imagine that I am a very happy man.
Is that no more than imagination?
Oh no, not a chance. God forbid. Just think, to be soulless, the master builder. How about soulless? Oh, thanks a lot.
Yes, I must say, to me, it seems that you've had luck with you to an incredible degree.
So I have. Can't complain of that.
First, that hideous old robber's den burned down for you. And that was really a stroke of luck.
It was Alan's family home that got burnt. Don't forget.
Yes, for her it must have been a heavy loss.
She hasn't recovered right to this day. Not in all these 12, 13 years.
What followed after? That must have been the worst blow for her.
The two together.
But you, yourself, you rose from those ashes. You began as a poor boy from the country, and now you stand at the top. And now you stand the top man in your field. Ah, yes, Mr. Solness, you've surely had luck on your side.
Yes, but that's exactly why I have this horrible fear.
Fear? For having luck on your side?
It racks me. This fear, it racks me morning and night, because someday things have to change. You will see.
Oh, rot! Where's this change coming from?
From the young.
Aha! The young! I would hardly say that you are obsolete. No, you've probably never been better established than you are now.
The change is coming. I can sense it. And I feel that it's coming closer. Someone or other will set up the cry. Step back for me, and all the others will storm in. And all the others will storm in after, shaking their fists and shouting, make room, make room, make room. Yes, doctor, you better look out. Someday youth will come here, knocking at the door, and you're
oh. Well, good Lord, what if they do?
What if they do? Well, then it's the end of Solness, the master builder. What's that? Did you hear it?
Somebody's knocking.
Come in!
Good evening.
Aha.
Good evening.
I almost think you don't recognize me.
Yes, I almost say just at the moment.
But I recognize you, young lady.
No, it's you that.
That's right. It's me. We met up at one of the mountain lodges last summer.
Yes.
What happened to all those other ladies?
Oh, they went off the west slope.
Oh, they didn't quite like all our fun in the evening.
No, they certainly didn't.
Ah, of course. We can't quite say you didn't flirt with us a bit.
I would much rather do than sit knitting knee socks with all the old hens.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Did you just get into town this evening?
Yes, just now.
Ah, all by yourself, Miss Wangel?
Of course.
Ah.
Wangel? Is your name Wangel?
Well, I should think so.
Then aren't you the daughter of the public health officer up at Lisanga?
Sure. Whose daughter did you think I was?
Ah, so that's where we met. Up there. The summer I went up and built a tower on that old church.
Yes, it was then.
Oh, well, that's a long time back.
It is exactly 10 years today.
Ah, I would swear you weren't any more than a child then.
Around 12, 13 maybe.
Ah, is this the first time you have been here in town, Miss Wangel?
Yes, that's right.
And you probably don't know anyone.
No one but you.
And me?
Yes, of course, and your wife.
Then you know her too?
Just slightly. We were together a few days and that held with salt.
Ah.
Yes, she told me to please visit her if I ever came down into town. Even though she didn't have to.
Funny she never spoke of it. And
So now, if I may, I would like to stay here overnight.
I am sure that can be arranged.
Because I haven't got any other clothes except what I've got on. Oh, and a set of other things in my knapsack. But they'd better be washed. They're real grimy.
Oh, well, that's easy to manage. Just let me speak to my wife.
Oh, then Mr. Solness, we'll go on to my house call.
Oh, yes, do that. And stop back again later.
Oh, you can bet I will. Ah, You read the future all right, Mr. Sones.
How so?
You did come along, knocking at the door.
Yes, but that was something else completely.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Arlie, would you come in here, please? Miss Wangel is here, whom you know.
Who did you say? Oh, it's you then. So you've come to town after all.
Miss Wangel just arrived and she's wondering if she might stay here overnight.
Here with us? Why, of course.
To get her clothes fixed up a bit, you know.
Oh, I'll do what I can for you. It's no more than my duty. Is your trunk on the way?
I haven't any trunk.
Oh, well, it will all work out, I guess. Now, if you'll just make yourself at home here with my husband a while, I'll see about getting a room comfortable for you.
Can't we give up one of the nurseries? They're all ready and waiting.
Oh, yes. We have more than enough rooms there. Just sit down and rest a bit.
You have several nurseries.
There are 3 nurseries in the house.
That's plenty. You must have an awful lot of children.
No, we have no children, but you can be... No, we have no children, but now you can be the child here for a while.
Oh, yes, for tonight. There won't be a peep out of me. I am going to try to sleep like a stone.
Yes, you're pretty tired, I'll bet.
Oh, no. But after all, you know it's so ravishing just to lie and dream.
Do you often dream at night?
Oh, yes, nearly always.
What do you dream about most?
I won't tell you. Not tonight. Some other time. Maybe.
Something you're looking for?
No, it's only to see all there is here. But I shouldn't, maybe.
Oh, yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it you that writes in this big ledger?
No, that's the bookkeeper.
A woman?
Of course.
Someone you have working here?
Yes.
Is she married?
No, she's single.
Oh, I see.
But I understand she's getting married now quite soon.
That's very nice. For her.
But not so nice for me. Because then I will have no one to help me.
Can't you find somebody else who is just as good?
Maybe you would like to stay here and write in the ledger.
Yes, wouldn't that suit you? No thanks. We're not having any of that. Because you see, there are plenty of other things to be done around here. Don't you think so too?
Why, of course. First of all, I expect you would want to tour the shops and do yourself up in style.
No, somehow I think I'll pass that up.
Oh?
Yes, since you see, I am completely broke.
And no trunk or money either.
Nothing of both. But shoot, what's the difference anyway?
I really like you for that.
Only for that?
Among other things. Is your father still living?
Yes, still living.
And you are thinking of studying here now?
No, that's not what I had thought.
But you are staying here for some time, I suppose?
Depends on how things go. Depends on how things go. Mr. Solness.
Yes.
Are you very forgetful?
Forgetful? No, not as far as I know.
But do you absolutely not want to talk to me about what happened up there?
Up there, up at Lysander? Oh, well, there's not much to talk about.
How can you sit there and say that?
All right, you tell me about it then.
When the tour was finished, we had a big function in town.
Yes, that's one day I won't soon forget.
Won't you? So good of you.
Good?
They had music in the churchyard, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people. We schoolgirls were all dressed in white, and we had flags, all of us.
Yes, the flags. I remember them, all right.
Then you climbed straight up the scaffolding, straight to the very top, and you had a great wreath with you, and you hung it up high on the weather vane.
I did that back in those days. It's an old custom.
It was so wonderfully thrilling just to stand below, looking up at you. What if he slipped and fell? He, the master builder himself.
Yes, all right. That could have happened too. Because one of those little devils in white, how she carried on screaming up at me.
Hooray for Mr. Solness, the master builder. Yes!
Waving her her flag and flourishing it till my head nearly spun at the sight of it.
That little devil. That was me.
Ah, I am sure of that now.
It was so terribly thrilling and lovely. I had never dreamt that anywhere in the world there was a builder who could build a tower so high, and then that he couldn't stand. And then that he could stand there right at the top, large as life, and that you weren't the least bit dizzy. That's what made me so almost dizzy to realize.
What makes you so sure I wasn't?
Oh, honestly, come on, I felt it within me. How else could you stand up there singing?
Singing? I sang?
Yes, really you did.
I've never sung a note in my life.
Yes, you were singing then. It sounded like harps in the air.
It's something very peculiar. This.
But then, afterwards came the real thing.
The real thing?
Oh, now I don't have to remind you of that.
You better give me a little reminder there too.
Don't you remember a big banquet for you at the club?
Of course. That must have been the same afternoon because I left the next morning.
And after the club, you were asked home to our place for the evening.
You're right, Miss Wangel. Amazing how you can keep all these details clear in your mind.
Details? Oh, you. I suppose it was just another detail that I was alone in the room when you came in.
Were you?
You didn't call me any little devil then.
No, I guess not.
You said I was lovely in my white dress and that I looked like a little princess.
I'm sure you did, Miss Wangel. And then feeling the way I did that day, so light and free and...
And then you said that when I grew up, I could be your princess.
Really? I said that too?
Yes, you did. And when I asked how long I should wait, then you said you would come back in 10 years like a troll and carry me off to Spain or to someplace else. And there you promised to buy me a kingdom.
Well, after a good meal, one's not in the mood to count pennies. But did I really say all that?
Yes, and you also said what the kingdom will be called.
Oh, what?
It was going to be called the Kingdom of Orangia, you said.
Ah, that's a delectable name.
No, I didn't like it at all. It was as if you were out to make fun of me.
But I hadn't the slightest intention to.
No, it wouldn't seem so. Not after what you did next.
What on earth did I do next?
Well, this is really the limit if you've even forgotten that. A thing like that, I think anybody ought to remember.
All right, just give me a tiny hint. Then maybe,
You cut me up and kissed me, Mr. Solness.
I did?
Oh yes, that you did. You held me in both your arms and bent me back and kissed me many times.
But my dear Miss Wangel,
You can't deny it, can you?
Yes, I almost emphatically do deny it.
I see.
Miss Wangel, don't stand here like a statue. These things you've been saying, you must have dreamed them. Now listen, or else, wait a minute. There's something strange in back of all this. You will see. This all must have been in my thought. I must have willed it, wished it, desired it, and so, doesn't that make sense? Oh, all right, for God's sake. So I did the thing too.
Then you confess?
Yes, whatever you please.
That you threw your arms around me?
All right.
And bent me back?
Way over back.
And kissed me?
Yes, I did it.
Many times?
As many as you ever could want.
There you see! I did get it out of you in the end.
Yes, imagine me forgetting something like that.
Oh, you have kissed a good number of... Oh, you have kissed a good many in your time, I think.
No, you mustn't believe that of me. Miss Wangel?
Yes?
How was it? Now, what went on next with us?
Nothing else went on. You know that well enough, because then all the others came in and...
That's right. The others came, and I could forget that too.
Oh, you haven't forgotten a thing. You're just a little ashamed. Nobody forgets that kind of thing.
No, it wouldn't seem likely.
Or maybe you have even forgotten what day it was.
What day?
Yes, what day you hung the wreath on the tower. Well, quick, say it.
I guess I've forgotten the actual date. I only know it was 10 years ago, sometime in the fall.
It was 10 years ago, the 19th of September.
Ah, yes, it must have been about then. So you must remember that too. Ah, yes, it must have been about then. So you have remembered that too. But wait a minute. Yes, today is also the 19th of September.
Yes, it is. And the 10 years are up. And you didn't come as you promised.
Promised you?
Yes.
Threatened? Don't you mean...
It never struck to me as some kind of threat.
Well, tease that I would then.
Is that all you wanted? To tease me?
Well, or to joke a bit with you. Then, Lord knows I don't remember. But it must have been some... it must have been something like that. But it must have been something like that. For you were only a child at the time.
Oh, maybe I wasn't much of a child either. Not the little kitten you thought.
Did you really, in all seriousness, get the idea of becoming back?
Of course, that's what I expected.
That I'll come to your home and carry off with me?
Just like a throne, yes.
And make you a princess?
It's what you promised.
And give you a kingdom too?
Why not? After all, it didn't have to be the everyday garden variety kingdom.
But something else that was just as good.
Oh, at least just as good. If you could build the highest church tower in the world, it seemed to me you certainly should be able to come up with some kind of kingdom too.
I just can't figure you out, Miss Wangel.
You can't? I think it's so simple.
No, I can't make out whether you mean all you see or whether you're just having some fun or some
fooling around and teasing maybe. I too.
Exactly. Making fools of both of us. How long have you known I was married?
Right from the start. Why do you ask about that?
Oh, nothing. Just wondered.
Oh.
Why have you come?
I want my kingdom. Time is up.
You are the limit.
Give us the kingdom. Come on. One kingdom on the line.
Seriously now, why have you come? What do you really want to do here?
Oh, to begin with, I want to go around and look at everything you have built.
That will keep you going a while.
Yes, you have built such an awful lot.
I have, yes. Mainly these latter years.
Many church towers. Enormously high ones.
No, I don't build any church towers now, nor churches either.
What do you build then?
Homes for human beings.
Couldn't you put a small church tower over the homes as well?
What do you mean by that?
I mean something pointing, free, sort of into the sky, with a weather vane way up in the reeling heights.
How odd that you should say that. It's exactly what most of all have wanted.
But why don't you do it then?
Because people won't have it.
Imagine, not to want that.
But I am building a new home now, right opposite this one.
For yourself?
Yes, it's almost ready. And it has a tower.
A high one?
Yes.
Very high?
People are bound to say.
Oh.
Too high, at least, for a home.
I'll be looking at that tower first thing in the morning.
Miss Wangel?
Yes?
Tell me, what's your name?
Oh.
Your first name, I mean.
You know, it's Hilda.
Hilda? So?
You don't remember that? You called me Hilda yourself. The day when you acted up.
I did that too.
But then you said, Little Hilda. And I didn't care for that.
So, Miss Wangel, you didn't care for that?
Not at such a time, no. But Princess Hilda. That's going to sound quite nice, I think.
No doubt. Princess Hilda of that kingdom. What was it called?
Ish, I'm through with that stupid kingdom. I want a different one, completely.
Isn't it strange? The more I think about it, the more it seems to me that all these years I've been going round tormented by
By what?
by a search for something, some old experience I thought I'd forgotten. But I've never had an inkling of what it could be.
You should have tied a knot in your handkerchief, Mr. Solness.
Then I'd only wind up puzzling over what the knot might mean.
Yes, there is even that kind of throne in the world too.
It's really so good that you have come to me now.
Is it?
I've been so alone here and felt so utterly helpless watching it all. I should tell you, I've begun to grow afraid. So awfully afraid of the young.
Have the young anything to fear?
That's why I have locked and bolted myself in. Wait and see. The young will come here, thundering at the door, breaking in on me.
Then I think you should go out and open your door to the young.
Open the door?
Yes, let them come into you as friends.
No. The young, don't you see? They are retribution, the spearhead of change, as he became marching under some new flag.
Can you find a use for me, Mr. Solness?
Oh, of course I can. Because I feel that you've come. Of course I can. Because I feel that you've come too. Most under some new flag. And then it's youth against youth.
So, you and Miss Wangel still here?
Yes, we've had a great many things to talk about.
Both old and new.
Oh, have you?
Really, it's been such fun.
I see.
Because Mr. Solness, he's got a fantastic memory.
Ah.
He remembers the tiniest little details in a flash.
All right, Miss Wango. Your room is all ready for you now.
Oh, how kind of you.
Nursery?
Yes, the middle one. But first, we ought to have a bite to eat. Don't you think?
So Hilda sleeps in the nursery then?
Hilda?
Yes, Miss Wangel's name is Hilda. I knew her when she was small.
No, you did really, Halbert. Well, shall we? Supper is waiting.
Is that true what you said? Can you find a use for me?
You're the one person I needed here the most.
Oh, you big world.
Oh, what?
Then I have my kingdom.
Hilda!
Almost. That is what I meant.
Oh, is that you?
I just wanted to tell you I'm here.
Oh, that's fine. Isn't Ragnar here too?
No, not yet. He had to wait a bit for the doctor, but he'll be along soon to find out.
How's the old man getting on?
Poorly, he's so very sorry, but he can't leave his bed today.
Of course not. He mustn't stir. But you go on to your work.
Yes. Will you want to speak with Ragnar when he gets in?
No, I have nothing special to say.
I wonder if he won't die now. He too.
He? And who else?
Yes, old Brovik. He's going to die now too, Halbert. You wait and see.
Aline, dear, couldn't you do with a little work?
Yes, I really suppose I could.
Is she still sleeping?
Is it Miss Wangel you're sitting there thinking about?
I just happened to remember her.
Miss Wangel has been up for hours.
Oh, she has?
When I looked in, she was busy arranging her things.
So we did find use for one of the nurseries after all, Aline.
Yes, we did.
And I think that's better, really, than all of them standing empty.
You're right. That's emptiness. It's horrible.
You're going to see this, Aline, that from now on, things will go better for us. Much pleasanter. Life will be easier, especially for you.
From now on?
Yes, believe me, Aline.
You mean because she's here?
I mean, of course, once we're in the new house.
Yes. Do you think so, Halbert? That things will go better there?
I am sure of it. And you, don't you have the same feeling?
I feel absolutely nothing about the new house.
Well, that's certainly hard for me to hear. It's mostly for your sake that I built it.
As it is, you do all too much for my sake.
No, Arlene. Don't talk like that. I can't stand hearing you say that.
Oh, all right. Then I won't say them, Halvard.
But I swear I am right. You will see. It will go well for you over there.
Oh, Lord. So well for me.
Oh, yes, it will. Just trust that it will. Because over there, you will see, there will be so very little, there will be so very much to remind you of your old home.
Of what was mother and father's that burnt to the ground?
Yes, poor Arlene. That was a terrible blow for you.
You can build as much as you ever want, Halvard. But for me, you can never build up a real home again.
Then for God's sake, let's not discuss it anymore.
We don't ordinarily discuss it at all. Because you only push it aside.
Why?
And why should I
Do that. Push it
Oh,
aside.
don't you think I know you, Halvard? You want so much to spare me, to find excuses for me, all that you can.
For you. Is it you yourself you're talking about, Arlene?
Yes, it has to be me, of course.
That too.
After all, with the old house, it couldn't have happened otherwise. Once disaster is on the wind, then...
Yes, you're right. There is no running away from trouble, they say.
But it's the horror after the fire. That's the thing. That's that.
Think about it, Arlene.
Oh, but it's what I have to think about. Exactly that. And finally talk about for once too. Because I don't see how I can bear it any longer. And then, never the least chance to forgive myself.
Yourself?
Yes! You know I had my duties on both sides. Both to you and to the babies. I should have made myself strong. Not let fear take hold of me so. Or grief. Because my old home had burned. Oh! If I had only been strong enough, Halvard.
Arlene, you must promise never to think those things. Wait, hold on. Arlene, you must promise me never to think these things again. Promise me now.
Good heavens! Promise! Promise! Anyone can promise!
Oh, how hopeless it is. Never a touch of sun. Not the least glimmer of light in this home.
This is no home, Halvard.
No, that's true enough. And God knows if you're not right that it will be no better for us in the new place.
It can never be different. Just as empty. Just as barren. There as here.
But why in the world did you build it then? Tell me that.
No! That answer you have to find in yourself.
What do you mean by that, Arlene?
What do I mean?
Yes, damn it! You said it so strangely, as if you were holding something back.
No, I can assure you.
Ah, thanks a lot. I know what I know. I've got ears and eyes, Arlene. Don't forget.
But what's this about? What is it?
Aren't you out to discover some sly hidden meaning in the most innocent thing I say?
I, you say? I do that?
Of course. That's only natural, Arlene. When you've got a sick man around to deal with.
Sick? Are you ill, Halvard?
Half mad! Half mad, then? A crazy man. Anything you want to call it.
Halvard, for God's sake.
But you're wrong. Both of you. Both you and the doctor. It's no such thing with me. In fact, there's nothing the matter with me at all.
No, of course not. But what is it then? What is it then that is upsetting you?
It's this. That I often feel that I am going to sink under this awful burden of debt.
Debt? But you're not in debt to anyone, Halvard.
Infinitely in debt to you. To you, Arlene. To you.
What's the back of all this?
But nothing.
Might as well tell me right now.
But nothing is back of it. I've never done anything against you. Not that I've ever known. And yet, there is this sense of some enormous guilt hanging over me, crushing me down.
Guilt towards me?
Towards you, all. Towards you, most of all.
Then you are ill after all, Halvard.
I suppose so. Something like that. But it's brightening up.
Good morning, Mr. Solness.
Sleep well.
Beautifully, like a child in a cradle. Oh, I lay and stretched myself like a princess.
Just the thing for you.
I expect so.
And I suppose you dreamed?
Oh, yes. But that was awful.
So?
Yes, because I dreamed I was falling over a terribly high, steep cliff. You ever dream such things?
Oh, yes, now and then.
It was wonderfully thrilling. Just to fall and fall.
It makes my blood run cold.
You pull your legs up while you fall?
Of course, as high as possible.
Me too.
I've got to go down into town now, Halvard. And I'll try to pick up a few things for you.
Oh, Mrs. Solness, you are a dear. You're really too kind. Terribly kind.
Oh, not at all. It's simply my duty. So I'm quite happy to do it.
Actually, I don't see any reason why I can't go out myself. With my clothes all neat again. Why can't I?
To tell the truth, I rather think people will be staring at you a bit.
Is that all? But that's fun!
Yes, but you see, people might get the idea that you were mad too.
Mad? Are there many mad people in town here?
Here's one at least.
And you, Mr. Solness.
Oh, Halvard, really?
You mean you haven't noticed?
No, certainly I haven't. Well, maybe in just one thing.
Hear that, Arlene?
What sort of thing, Miss Wango?
I am not saying.
Oh, yes, come on.
No thanks. I am not that crazy.
When Miss Wangle and you are alone, I'm sure she'll tell you, Halvard.
Oh, you think so?
Why, of course. After all, you've known her so well in the past. Ever since she was a child. You tell me.
Does your wife not like me at all?
Does it seem so to you?
Couldn't you see it yourself?
This last year is at least become shy around people.
Has she really?
But if you only got to know her well, because underneath she's so kind, so good, such a fine person.
But if she's all that, why does she run on to about duty?
Duty?
Yes, she said she'd go out and buy me some things because it was her duty. Oh, I can't stand that mean, ugly word.
Why not?
No, it sounds so cold and sharp and cutting. Duty, duty, duty. Ha, don't you feel it too? As if it's made to cut.
Never thought of it, really.
But if it's true, and if she's so kind the way you say, why would she put it like that?
But, my lord, what would you want her to say?
She could have said she would do it because she liked me. She could have said she would do it because she liked me a lot. Something like that she could have said. Something really warm and straight from the heart, you know.
Is that what you would want?
Yes, just that. You have an awful lot of books.
Oh, I have picked up a fair number.
Do you read them all too?
I used to try in the old days. Do you do much reading?
No, never. At least not now. I can't connect with them anymore.
It's exactly the same for me.
Did you do all these designs?
No, they're done by a young man I have helping me.
Someone you've been teaching?
Oh, yes. I guess he's learned something from me, all right.
Then he must be quite clever, Isn't he?
Oh, could be worse for my work, though I have...
Oh, yes. He must be dreadfully clever.
You think you can see it in the drawings?
The scribbles. But if he's been studying with you, then...
Oh, for that matter. There have been plenty of others who have studied with me, and none of them ever come to much.
For the life of me, I don't understand how you could be so stupid.
Stupid? You really think I'm so stupid?
Yes, really I do. When you can take time to go on teaching these fellows...
Well, why not?
Oh, come on, Mr. Solness. What's the point of it? Nobody should have the right to build. Oh, come on, Mr. Solness. What's the point of it? Nobody but you should have the right to build. You should be all alone in that. Have the field to yourself. Now you know.
Hilda!
Well?
What on earth gave you that idea?
Am I so very wrong?
No. No, that's not it. But let me tell you something.
What?
Here, in my solitude and silence, endlessly, I've been brooding on that same idea.
Well, it only seems natural to me.
And I'm sure you've already noticed it.
No, not a bit.
But before, when you said that you thought I was on balance, there was one thing.
Oh, I was thinking of something quite different.
What do you mean different?
Never you mind, Mr. Solness.
All right, I have it your way. Come over here. I'll show you something.
What's that?
You see, out there in the garden.
Yes?
Right above the big quarry.
The new house, you mean?
The one under construction, yes. Nearly finished.
I think it's got a very high tower.
The scaffolding is still up.
That's your new house?
Yes.
The one you're about to move into?
Yes.
Have you nurseries in that house too?
3, same as here.
And no children?
Not now. Not ever.
So isn't that just what I said?
Namely?
Namely that you are a little sort of mad after all.
Was that what you were thinking of?
Yes, of all those empty nurseries I slept in.
We did have children, Aline and I.
You did?
2 little boys, both the same age.
Twins?
Yes, twins. That's some 11, 12 years ago now.
And both of them are? The twins! They're not with you anymore?
We had them only about 3 weeks, not even that. Oh, Hilda, how amazingly lucky for me that you have come. Now at least I've got someone I can talk to.
You can't talk with her?
Not about this. Not the way I want to and need to. And there's so much else I can never talk about.
Oh, was that all you meant when you said you needed me?
Mostly that, I guess. Yesterday. Anyhow, today. I'm not so sure. Come here, Hilda, and let's get settled. Sit here on the sofa. Then you can look out in the garden. Would you care to hear about it?
Yes, I like listening to you.
Then I'll give you the whole story.
Now I am looking at both the garden and you, Mr. Solness. So tell me now.
Over on that ridge there, where you see the new house and...
Yes.
That's where Aline and I lived in those early years.
Oh.
There was an old house up there then, and there was an old house up there then, one that had belonged to our mother and then passed on to us. And this whole enormous garden came with it.
Did the house have a tower too?
No, not at all. From the outside, it was an ugly, dark, overgrown packing case. And yet, for all that, it was snug and cozy enough inside.
Did you tear the old crates down then?
No, it burned.
To the ground?
Yes.
Was it a terrible loss for you?
It depends how you look at it. As a builder, the fire put me in business.
Well, but...
We had just had the 2 little boys at the time, and I was trying to...
Oh, the poor little boys. The poor little twins.
They had come so plump and healthy into life, and every day you could see them growing.
And babies grow fast at the start.
There was nothing finer in the world to see than Aline lying there, holding those 2. But then it came, the night of the fire.
What happened? Go on. Was anyone burned?
No, not that. They were all rescued out of the house.
What? Well, but what then?
The fright shook Aline to the core.
Oh.
The alarms, getting out of the house, and all the confusion. The whole thing at night, in the freezing cold to boot. They had to be carried out just as they lay, both she and the babies.
And they didn't survive?
Oh, they pushed through it all right. But Aline came down with fever, and it affected her milk. Nursed them herself. She insisted on that. It was her duty, she said. And both of our little boys, they
couldn't survive that?
No, that they couldn't survive. It's how we lost them.
It must have been terribly hard for you.
Hard enough for me, but 10 times harder for Aline. Oh, why are such things allowed to happen in life? From that day from the day I lost them, I never wanted to build another church.
And the church tower in our town, you disliked doing that?
Very much. I remember when it was finished, how relieved I felt.
I remember too.
And now, I will never build those things anymore. Never. No church towers or churches.
Only houses for people to live in.
Homes for human beings, Hilda.
But homes with high towers and spurs on them.
If possible. Anyhow, as I said before, the fire put me in business. As a builder, I mean.
Why don't you call yourself an architect like the others?
Never went through trainings. Never went through the training. Almost all I know, I've had to find out myself.
But still, you've made a success.
Out of the fire, yes. I subdivided nearly the whole garden into small lots where I could build exactly the whole. Out of the fire, yes. I subdivided nearly the whole garden into small lots where I could build exactly the way I wanted. And after that, things really began to move for me.
How happy you must be with the life you've made.
Happy? You say it too? Same as all others.
Yes, you have to be. I really think so. If you could just stop thinking about the little twins.
The little twins? They are not so easy to forget, Hilda.
They really still bother you? After so many years?
A happy man, you said?
Yes, but aren't you? I mean, otherwise?
When I told you about the fire...
Yes.
Did nothing strike you then? Nothing special?
No. Was there anything special?
By means of the fire, and that alone, I won my chance to build homes for human beings. Snug, cozy, sunlit homes where a father and a mother and a whole drove of children could live safe and happy, feeling what a sweet thing it is to be alive in this world. And mostly, knowing they belong to each other in the big things and small.
Yes, but isn't it really a joy for you then to create these beautiful homes?
The price, Hilda, the awful price I've had to pay for that chance.
But can you never get over that?
No, for this chance to build homes for others, I've had to give up forever, home of my own. I mean a home for many children, and for their father and mother too.
But did you have to? Absolutely, that is.
That was the price for my famous luck. Luck! This good luck, Hilda, it couldn't be bought for less.
But still, might it not all work out?
Never in this world, never. That also comes out of the fire and Ali's sickness after.
And so you go and build all these nurseries.
Have you ever noticed, Hilda, how the impossible, how it seems to whisper and call to you?
The impossible? Oh yes, you know it too?
Yes.
Then I guess there is something of a troll in you as well.
Why a troll?
Well, what would you call it then?
Yes, could be. But why shouldn't the troll be in me? The way things go for me all the time, in everything.
What do you mean?
Pay attention to what I tell you, Hilda. All I've been given to do, to build and shape into beauty, security, a good life, into even a kind of splendor. Oh, how awful just to think of it.
What's so awful?
That I've got to make up for it all. Pay up, not with money, but with human happiness. And not just my own happiness, with others too. You understand, Hilda? That's the price my name as an artist has cost me. And others. And every single day, I've got to look on here and there and see that price being paid for me again and again. Over and over and over, endlessly.
Now you're thinking of her.
Yes, mostly of Arlene. Because Arlene, she had a life work too. Just as I had mine, but our life work had to be cut down, crushed, broken to bits, so that mine could win through to some kind of great victory. Arlene, You know, she had a talent for building too.
She? For building?
Not houses and towers and spires, the kind of thing I do.
What then?
For building up the small souls of children, Hilda. Building those souls up to stand on their own, poised in beautiful, noble forms. They had a talent for... till they had grown into the upright human spirit. That's what Aline had a talent for. And now, there it lies, all of it, unused and useless forever, and for what earthly reason, just like charred ruins after a fire.
Yes, but even if this were so?
It is so. It is. I know.
Well, but in any case, it's not your fault.
Ah, you see? That's the enemy's ugly riddle. The doubt that gnaws at me day and night.
That?
Put it this way. Suppose it was my fault in some sense.
You? For the fire?
For everything. The whole business. And yet, perhaps, completely innocent all the same.
Mr. Solness, when you can talk like that, then it sounds like you're ill after all.
I don't think I will ever be quite sound in that department.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Solness.
Oh, don't go. Let's be done with it.
Yes, if we only could.
Your father is no better here.
He's going downhill fast now. And that's why I'm begging you. Please, give me a good word or two. Just something on one of the drawings for father to read before he...
Stop talking to me about those damn drawings of yours.
Have you looked them over?
Yes, I have.
And they are worthless? And no doubt I am worthless too?
You stay on here with me, Ragnar. You will get everything the way you want it. You can marry Kaja, then have it easy, happy even. Don't just think about doing your own your own build. Don't just think about doing your own building.
Oh, sure. I should go home and tell that to my father. Because I promised to.
Oh.
Shall I tell him that before he dies?
Oh, tell him. Tell him. Don't ask me what to say. Anything. Better still to say nothing. I can't do any more than I am doing, Ragnar.
May I take along my drawings?
Yes, take them. Help yourself. They're on the table.
Thanks.
No, leave them.
Why?
Because I want to see them too.
But you have already. All right, then. Just leave them.
Gladly.
And go right home to your father.
Yes, I guess I would have to.
Ragnar, don't ask me what I can't give, you hear? Ragnar, don't ask me what I can't give, you hear, Ragnar? You mustn't.
Oh, no! No! Excuse me.
That was really mean of you.
You think so?
Yes, it was terribly mean and hard and wicked and cruel.
You don't know my own side of it.
All the same, no, you shouldn't be like that.
You were just now saying that no one but me should be allowed to build.
I can say that, but you mustn't.
But I can, most of all, when I've paid such a price for my recognition.
That's right. With what you think as comfortable life, that sort of thing.
And my inner peace in the bargain.
Inner peace. Yes, you're right. Poor Mr. Solness. You can imagine that.
Sit down again, Hilda, if you want to hear something funny.
Well?
It sounds like such a ridiculous little thing. You see, the whole business revolves about no more than a crack in a chimney.
Nothing else?
No, at least not at the start.
So the crack in the chimney?
I had noticed that tiny opening in the flue long before the fire. Every time I was up in the attic, I checked to see that it was still there.
And was it?
Yes, because no one else knew.
And you said nothing?
No, nothing.
Never thought of fixing the flue either?
I thought, yes, but never got it. Every time I wanted to start repairing it, it was exactly as if a hand were there, holding me back. Not today, I would think tomorrow, so nothing came of it.
But why did you keep on postponing?
Because I went on thinking. Through that little black opening in the chimney, I could force my way to success as a builder.
That must have been thrilling.
Irresistible. Almost completely irresistible. Because the whole thing then seemed so easy and obvious to me. I wanted it to happen on some winter's day, a little before noon. I'll be out with Alan for a drive in the sleigh. The people at home would have fires blazing in the stoves.
Yes, because the day should be bitterly cold.
Yes, quite raw. And they would want it snug and warm for Alan when she got in.
Because I'm sure her temperature is normally low.
It is, you know. So then, driving home it was that we were supposed to see the smoke.
Oh, only the smoke?
The smoke first. But when we had pulled at the garden gate, there the old packing case would stand, a roaring inferno. At least, that's how I wanted it.
Oh, but if it only could have gone that way.
Yes, you can say that well enough, Hilda.
But wait a minute, Mr. Saunders. How can you be so sure that the fire started from that little crack in the chimney?
I can't. Not at all. In fact, I'm absolutely certain it had nothing whatsoever to do with the fire.
What?
It's been proved without a shadow of doubt that the fire broke out in a closed closet in quite another part of the house.
Well, then what's the point in all this sitting and mooning around about a cracked chimney?
You mind if I go on talking a bit, Hilda?
No, if only you will talk sense.
I'll try.
So go on then, Mr. Saunders.
Don't you believe with me, Hilda, that there are certain special chosen people who have a gift and power and capacity to wish something, desire something, will something, so insistently and so inevitably that at last it has to be theirs. Don't you believe that?
If that's true, then we'll see someday if I'm the chosen one.
It's not oneself alone that makes great things. Oh no, the helpers and the servers, they've got to be with you if you're going to succeed. But they never come by themselves. One has to call on them insistently, within oneself, I mean.
No, what are these helpers and servers?
Oh, we can talk about that some other time. Let's deal with the fire now.
Don't you think the fire still would have come? Even if you hadn't wished it?
If old Lord Brovik had owned the house, it never would have burned down so conveniently for him. I am positive of that, because he doesn't know how to call on the helpers or the servers either. So you see, Hilda, it is my fault that the twins had to die. And isn't it my fault too that Alice never come? And isn't it my fault too that Alice never become the woman she could? And isn't it my fault too that Ali never become the woman she could have, or should have been, or wanted to be, more than anything?
Yes, but if it's really these helpers and servers then?
Who called on the helpers and the servers? I did. And they came and did what I willed. I can tell you what this luck. That's what all the nice people call having luck. But I can tell you what this luck feels like. It feels as if a big piece of skin had been stripped right here from my chest. And the helpers and servers go on flaying the skin. And the helpers and servers go on flaying the skin off other people to patch my wound. But the wound never heals. Never. Oh, if you knew how sometimes it leaches and burns.
You are ill, Mr. Saunders. Very ill, I think.
Insane. You can say it. It's what you mean.
No, I don't think you've lost your reason.
What then? Out with it.
I'm wondering if maybe you didn't enter life with a frail conscience.
A frail conscience? What in hell's name does that mean?
I mean, your conscience is very fragile. Over-refined, sort of. It isn't made to struggle with things, to pick up what's heavy and bear it.
What kind of conscience do you recommend?
I could wish that your conscience was, well, quite robust.
Oh, robust? And I suppose you have a robust conscience?
Yes, I think so. Have never noticed it wasn't.
Yeah. I would say you have never had a real test to face up to either.
Oh, it wasn't so easy to leave father when I'm so terribly fond of him.
Come on, just for a month or two.
I am never going back home again.
Never? Why did you leave home then?
You still keep forgetting that the 10 years are up?
Nonsense. Was something wrong there at home?
It was inside me. Something goading and driving me here, coercing and luring me to.
That's it, Hilda. There's a troll in you, same as in me. It's a troll in us. Don't you see? That's what calls on the powers out there. And then we have to give in, whether we want to or not.
I almost believe you're right, Mr. Sonas.
Oh, Hilda, there are so many devils one can't see loose in the world.
Devils too?
Good devils and bad devils.
Oh.
Blonde devils and black-haired ones. And if only you always knew if the light or the dark ones had you, wouldn't it be simple then?
Or if you have had a really strong conscience, brimming with health, or so you could dare what you... Or if you had a really strong conscience, brimming with health, so you could dare what you most wanted.
Still, I think most people in this respect are just as weak as I am.
Probably.
In the sagas, ever done any reading in the old sagas?
Oh yes, in the days when I used to read books.
In the sagas, it tells about Vikings that sailed foreign countries and plundered and burned and killed the men.
And captured the women.
And carried them off.
Took them home in their ships.
And treated them like the worst of trolls.
I think that must have been training.
Capturing women.
Being captured.
I see.
Oh, but what are we getting at with all these Vikings, Mr. Sonas?
Just that there is your robust conscience in those boys. When they got back home, they went on eating and drinking and living light-hearted as children, and the women as well. They soon had no urge, most of them, ever to give up their men. Does that make sense to you, Hilda?
Those women make perfect sense to me.
Aha! Perhaps you could go on and do likewise.
Why not?
Live of your own free will with a barbarian like that.
If it was a barbarian whom I really loved.
But could you ever love one?
My lord, you don't just plan whom you're going to love.
No, I suppose it's the troll within that decides.
Yes, and all those enchanting little devils, your friends. The blonde and the black-haired, both.
Then I would ask that the devil choose tenderly for you. Hilda.
For me, they have already chosen, now and forever.
Hilda, you are like some wild bird of the woods.
Hardly. I don't go hiding away under bushes.
No, there's more in you of the bird of prey.
More than that, perhaps. And why not a bird of prey? Why shouldn't I go hunting as well? Take the spoil I am after, if I can once set my claws in it and have my own way.
Hilda, you know what you are?
Yes, I am some strange kind of bird.
No, you are like a dawning day. When I look at you, then it is as if I looked into the sunrise.
Tell me, Mr. Sonas, are you quite sure that you've never called for me? Within yourself, I mean.
I almost think I must have.
What did you want with me?
You, Hilda, are youth.
Youth that you're so afraid of.
And that, deep within me, I am so much hungry for.
Then, about these drawings, I think we should...
Put those drawings away. I've seen enough of them.
Yes, but you've got to write your comment on them.
Write a comment? Never.
But now, with that poor old man near death, can't you do him and his son a kindness before they are parted? And maybe later he could build from these drawings.
Yes, that's exactly what he would do. The young pops made sure of that.
But my lord, if that's all, then why can't you tell a little white lie?
A lie? Hilda! Get away with those damn drawings!
Now! Don't bite me. You're talking about trolls. I think you're acting like a troll yourself. Where is your pen and ink?
Haven't got any.
But out there where that girl works, I think I might be able to find it.
Hilda! Stay here! You said I could lie a little. Well, I guess for the old man's sake, I could manage it. I did beat him down in his time and broke him. And I had to have room for myself. But this Ragnar, he mustn't be given the least chance to rise.
Poor boy. His chances are slim enough if he simply hasn't got it in him.
If Ragnar Brovik gets his chance, he will hammer me to the ground, break me, same as I broke his father.
Break you? Can he do that?
You bet he can. It's all the youth that is waiting to come thundering at my door to do away with Master Builder Solness.
And so you will still try to lock him out for shame, Mr. Solness?
It's cost my heart blood enough to fight my battle. And then the helpers and servers, I am afraid they won't obey me anymore.
Then you will have to get along on your own then. That's all.
Hopeless, Hilda. The change, it is coming. Maybe a little sooner, maybe later, but the retribution, it's inescapable.
Don't you say those things. You want to kill me? You want to take what is more than my life?
And what's that?
I want to see you great. See you with a wreath in your hand, high up on a church tower. So out with your pencil. You do have a pencil on you?
Yes, one.
Good. Now let's get settled here. Mr. Solness, the two of us. And now let's write on these drawings something really warm and nice for this nasty roar or whatever he is.
Tell me one thing, Hilda.
Yes?
If you've really been waiting for me all these years,
Yeah, then what?
why didn't you write to me? I could have answered you then.
No, that's just what I didn't want.
Why not?
I was afraid then the whole thing would be ruined. But we should be writing on these drawings, Mr. Solness.
Yes, of course.
Something heartfelt and kind. Oh, how I hate this world.
Have you ever really loved anyone, Hilda?
What did you say?
Have you never loved anyone?
Anyone else? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, anyone else? Yes. You never have. In 10 whole years, never.
Oh yes, now and then, when I was really furious at you for not coming.
So you did care for others too?
A little bit, for a week or so. Oh, honestly, Mr. Solness, you ought to know that kind of thing.
Hilda, what are you here for?
Don't waste time talking. That poor old man could easily be dying on us.
Answer me, Hilda. What do you want from me?
I want my kingdom.
I brought along a little something here for you, Miss Wong. They will send the big parcels out later.
Oh, how wonderfully kind of you.
No more than my duty, that's all.
Aline?
Yes?
Did you notice if the bookkeeper is out there?
Oh, she's there, don't worry.
Oh,
She's right at her desk, as she always is whenever I go through the room.
then I will give her this and tell her that...
No, let me have the pleasure. What's her name?
Miss Forsley.
Ah, that's much too cold. I mean her first name.
Kaja, I think.
Kaja, come in here. Hurry up, the master builder wants to speak to you.
Here I am.
See here, Kaja. You can now have these drawings. The master builder has written his opinion.
Oh, at last.
Get it to old Brovik soon as you can.
I'll go right over with it.
Yes, go on. Now Ragnar can do some building.
Oh, can he stop by and thank you for all?
I want no thanks. Tell him that, with my respect.
Yes, I will.
And tell him as well that hereafter I won't be needing his services, nor yours either.
Not mine either.
Yes. You will have other things to think about now. A lot to do. And that's only right. So run along home with the drawings, Miss Forsley. Quick, you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Solness.
My, what scheming eyes she has.
She? That poor little fool?
Oh, I see just what I see, Halvard. Are you really letting them go?
Yes!
How to?
Isn't that the way you wanted it?
But to get rid of her? Oh, well, Halvard. I'm sure you have one in reserve.
As for me, I just can't function behind a desk.
Oh, there. Dear now, it will all work out. Aline, don't think about anything now except moving into the new home. As soon as you can, we'll be hanging the wreath up this evening, or way up high at the top of the tower. What do you say to that, Miss Hilda?
It will be so marvelous seeing you high up there again.
Me?
For heaven's sake, Miss Wangel, what are you thinking of? My husband who gets so dizzy.
He dizzy?
Oh.
Impossible.
Oh, yes. It's true, though.
But I've seen him myself, right at the top of a high church tower.
Yes, I've heard people talk about that. But it's so completely impossible.
Impossible, yes, impossible. But all the same, I stood there.
Oh, Halvard. How can you say that? You can't even bear going down out there on the second-story balcony here. You've always been like that.
And maybe this evening you'll see something new.
No! I hope to God I never see that. I'm getting in touch with the doctor right away.
But
he'll know how to stop you from this.
But Arlene!
Yes, because you know you're sick, Halvard. This only proves it. God. Oh, God!
Is it true or isn't it?
That I get dizzy?
That my master builder dares not and cannot climb as high as he builds?
Is that the way you see it?
Yes.
I think soon I won't have a corner in my safe from you.
So then, up, right up there.
In the topmost room of the tower, that's where you could live. Hilda, live like a princess.
Sure, it's what you promised.
Did I really?
Oh, come on, Mr. Solness. You said I'd be a princess and you'd give me a kingdom. So you went and well...
Are you quite positive this isn't some kind of dream? Some fantasy that's taking hold of you?
Meaning you didn't do it, huh?
I hardly know myself. But one thing I know for certain is that I can
you... Go on!
Then I ought to have done it.
You could never be dizzy.
So we'll hang the wreath this evening, Princess Hilda.
Over your new home, yes.
Over the new house. That will never be home for me.
Terribly thrilling.
How did it all come about this one?
Yes, I've been having a look around. Oh yes, they are just growing thick in the bushes.
Oh, are they really? Still, I hardly ever get down there, you know.
Honestly, you don't run down into the garden every day.
I don't run any place, not anymore.
Oh, well, but don't you go down even once in a while and visit all those lovely things?
Oh, it's grown so strange to me, all of it. I'm almost frightened of seeing it again.
Your own garden?
I don't feel it's mine anymore.
What's that mean?
Oh no, it isn't. Not what it used to be in mother and father's time. They've taken so much of the garden away. It's painful, Miss Wangel. Can you imagine? They've cut it up and built houses for strangers. People I don't know. And they can sit at their windows and looking on me.
Mrs. Solness?
Yes?
May I stay here a while with you?
Oh, yes, of course. If you want to.
You can sit and really sun yourself here, just like a cat.
Oh, it's kind of you to want to sit with me. I thought you'd be going in to my husband.
What would I want with him?
And to help him, I thought.
No thanks. Besides, he's not in. He's over there with the workmen. But he looked so ferocious, I didn't dare speak to him.
Oh, underneath, he's so mild and sweethearted.
Him?
You hardly know him yet, Miss Wangel.
Are you happy to be moving into the new place?
Oh, I should be happy. It's what Halvard wants.
Oh, but not just for that reason.
Oh, yes, Miss Wangel. For that's no more than my duty, giving in to him. But it isn't always so easy, forcing your thoughts to obey.
I'm sure it can't be.
Oh, believe me, it's not. When one is no better, believe me, it's not. When one is not better a person than I am,
You mean when one is gone? You mean when one has gone through all the sorrow you have?
How did you hear that?
The husband told me.
Oh, with me, he hardly ever mentions those things. Yes, I've been through more than my share in life, Miss Wangel.
Poor Mrs. Solness. First, you had the fire.
Yes, everything of mine burned.
And then what was worse followed?
Worse?
The worst of all.
What do you mean?
You lost your 2 little boys.
Oh, them. Yes. Yes. You see, that's something quite different. That was an act of providence, you know. And there, one can only bow one's head and submit and be grateful.
And are you?
Not always. I'm afraid I know very well it's my duty. But all the same, I can't.
Of course not. That's only natural.
And time and again, I have to remind myself that it was just a punishment for me.
Why?
Because I wasn't staunch enough under misfortune.
But I don't see that.
Oh no, Miss Wangel. Don't talk anymore to me about the 2 little boys. We can only be happy for them. Because they're well off. So well off now. No, it's the small losses in life that strikes at your heart. Losing all of those things that other people value at next to nothing.
Dear Mrs. Solness, what sort of things? Tell me.
As I say, just little things. There were all the old portraits on the walls that burned. And all the old silk dresses. They'd been in the family for ever so long generations. They burned. And all mothers and grandmothers' lace, that burned too. And just think, their jewels. And then all the dolls.
The dolls?
I had 9 beautiful dolls.
And they burned also?
All of them. Oh, that was hard. So hard for me.
Were they dolls you had put away ever since you were little?
Not put away. I and the dolls had gone on living together.
After you had grown up?
Yes, long after that.
After you were married too?
Oh, yes. As long as it didn't see them. But then, oh, poor things. They were all burned up. No one ever thought about saving them. Oh, it's so sad to remember. Now you mustn't laugh at me, Miss Wangel.
Oh, I am not laughing a bit.
Because, you see, in a way, there was life in them too. I used to carry them under my heart, just like little unborn children.
So you are out here, Mrs. Solness, catching yourself a cold, yes?
It seems so nice and warm here today.
All right. But is something the matter? I got a note from you.
Yes, there's something I have to talk to you about.
Oh, fine. Perhaps we'll better go in. Then. Oh, still dressed for climbing mountains, hmm?
Yes, that's right.
Ah.
Full gear. But I won't be climbing and breaking my neck today. We two are going to stay quietly down below and watch Doctor.
What?
Oh, shh, for God's sake. He's coming.
Huh?
Just try and get him out of this wild idea. And then let's be friends, Miss Wangel. Can we be?
Oh, if we only could.
Oh, there he is, Doctor.
Huh?
We've got to talk.
Is this about him?
Of course it is. Just come inside.
Oh.
Have you noticed anything, Hilda? That the moment I come, she goes?
I have noticed that the moment you come, you make her go.
Maybe so, but I can't help that. Are you cold, Hilda? You rather look it to me.
I have just come out of a tomb.
Now what's that mean?
That I have been chilled right to the bone, Mr. Solness.
I think I understand, and
What do you want here now?
I caught sight of you from over there.
But then, you must have seen her too, hmm?
I knew she would leave immediately if I came.
It's very hard on you that she keeps on avoiding you like this.
In a way, it's almost a relief.
That you don't have her right under your eyes.
Yes.
And you are not always seeing how she broods over the business of the children.
Yes, mostly that.
Oh.
Did you talk with her quite a while? I'm asking you, did you talk quite a while? What did she talk about, Hilda? Poor Aline. It was the twins, I suppose. She will never get over it. Never in this world. Now you're standing there like a statue again. The same as last night.
I am going away.
Away?
Yes.
But I won't let you.
What can I do here now?
Just be here, Hilda.
Sure, thanks a lot. You know it wouldn't stop there.
So much the better.
I just can't hurt anybody I know. Or take away something that really has.
Who wants you to?
A stranger, yes. Because that's different. Completely. Someone I've never laid eyes on. But somebody I've gotten close to. No, not that. Never.
What have I ever suggested?
Oh, Master Builder. You know so well what would happen. And that's why I'm going away.
And what will become of me when you are gone? What will I have to live for then afterwards?
There is no real problem for you. You have your duties to have. Live for those duties.
Too late. These powers,
Devils.
Yes, devils. And the troll inside me too. They've sucked all the lifeblood out of her. They did that to make me happy, successful, and now she's dead, thanks to me. And I'm alive, chained to the dead. And now she's dead, thanks to me. And I'm alive, chained to the dead. And who can't go on living without joy in life?
What are you building next?
Don't think I'll build much more now.
No more warm, happy homes for mothers and fathers and droves of children.
Who knows if there will be any use for them in the future?
Poor Master Builder. And you who have gone all these 10 years and put your life into nothing but that.
Well, yes, you might as well say it, Hilda.
Oh, it's just so senseless. Really so senseless. The whole thing.
What whole thing?
Not daring to take hold of one's own happiness, of one's own life, just because someone you know is there, standing in the way.
Someone you have no rights to leave.
Who knows if you really don't have a right? And still, all the same. Oh, to slip the whole business away.
Was yours a warm, happy home up there with your father, Hilda?
I only have a cage.
And you won't go back in?
Wild birds never like cages.
They would rather go hunting in the open sky and fly.
Birds of prey like hunting best.
Oh, to have had the Viking spirit, I suppose.
And the other? Say what that was.
A robust conscience.
I know what you're going to build next.
Then you know more than I do, Hilda.
Yes, Master Builders. They are really so dumb.
All right. What's it going to be?
The castle.
What castle?
My castle, of course.
Now you want a castle?
Let me ask you, don't you owe me a kingdom?
If I listen to you, I do.
So, you owe me this kingdom then. And who ever heard of a kingdom without a castle?
Yes, they naturally do go together.
Good. So build it for me, right now.
Hilda, is everything always right now?
That's right, because the 10 years, they are up. And I am not going to wait any longer. So come on now, Mr. Sones. Fork over the castle.
It's not so easy owing you anything, Hilda.
You should have thought of that before. It's too late now. Come on. One castle on the table. It's my castle. I want it now.
What sort of castle did you imagine for yourself, Hilda?
My castle must stand My castle must stand up. Very high up and free on every side. So I can see far, far out.
And I suppose it will have a high tower?
A terribly high tower. And at the highest pinnacle of the tower, there will be a balcony. Out on that balcony, I will stand.
How you can want to stand at those dizzy heights?
Why not? I will stand right up there and look down on the others. The one who built church. Why not? I will stand right up there and look down on the others, the ones who built churches and homes for mothers and fathers and droves of children. And you must come with me.
Will the master builder be allowed to come up with a princess?
If he wants to.
Then I think he will come.
The master builder, he will come.
But never build anymore. Poor master builder.
Oh, but he will. We two, we will work together. And that way we will build the loveliest, the most beautiful thing anywhere in the world.
Hilda, tell me, what's that?
Master builders. They are very, very stupid people.
Of course they are stupid. But tell me, what is it? What's the world's most beautiful thing we are going to build together?
Castles in the air.
Castles in the air?
Yes, castles in the air. You know what a castle in the air is?
It is the loveliest thing in the world, you say.
Why? Yes, of course. Castles in the air. They are so easy to hide away in. And easy to build too. Especially for builders who have a dizzy conscience.
From this day on, we'll build together, Hilda.
A real castle in the air?
Yes, one with solid foundations.
Oh, oh, the wreath. Oh, that would be magnificent.
Are you bringing the wreath, Ragnar?
I promised the foreman I would.
Oh, then I suppose your father is better.
No,
Didn't he get a lift from what I wrote?
it came too late.
Too late!
When she got back with it, he was in a coma. He had a stroke.
But go home to your father then. Look after your father.
He doesn't need me anymore.
But you need to be with him.
She's sitting by his bed.
Kaja,
Yes! Kaja, yes!
go home, Ragnar. To both of them. Let me have the wreath.
You don't mean you are going to hang the...
I'll take it down myself, thanks. And go home. We won't be needing you today.
No, I am aware you won't be needing me permanently. But today I am staying.
But well, then stay, if you are so anxious to.
Mr. Sonus, I will stand here and watch you.
Watch me.
It will be terribly thrilling.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later, Hilda.
It seems to me that you might have at least thanked him.
Thanked him? Should I have thanked him?
Yes, you absolutely should have.
If anything, it's probably you I should thank.
Why do you say that?
Oh, but just look out for yourself, miss. Because actually, you hardly know him yet.
Oh, I know him the best.
Thank him. When he's held me down year after year, he who made my own father doubt me, made me doubt myself, and all that just so he could
Say it out.
so he could keep her with him.
The girl at the desk.
Yes.
It isn't true. You're lying about him.
No, I didn't want to believe it either. Before today, when she said it herself.
What did she say? I've got to know. Now, right now.
She said he'd taken possession of her mind completely. That all her thoughts are caught up in him. Only him. She says she would never let him go. That she wants to stay here where he is.
She won't be allowed to.
Huh? Who won't allow her?
He won't either.
Oh no! I understand everything now. Huh. From here on, she could only be, shall we say, an inconvenience, huh? Oh no! I understand everything now. Huh. From here on, she could only be, shall we say, an inconvenience, huh?
You understand nothing when you can talk like that. No, I'll tell you why he kept her.
Why?
So he could keep you.
Did he tell you that?
No, but it's true. It must be true.
Oh.
I will have it that way.
Oh, but just the moment you come by is when he drops her.
You are the only one he dropped. What do you think he cares about strange girls like her?
You suppose he's really been afraid of me all along?
Him afraid? I wouldn't be so conceited if I were you.
Oh, I think he's suspected for a long time that I had it in me all right. Besides, afraid. That's exactly what he is, you know.
Him? Oh, don't give me that.
Oh, in certain ways, he's afraid. this great master builder, when it comes to stealing other people's happiness in life, like my father's and mine, yeah, he's not afraid. But if it's a matter of climbing a miserly piece of scaffolding, watch him take God's own sweet time getting around to it.
Oh, if you had only seen him as I did once, way high up in the if you had only seen him as I did once, way high up in the spinning sky.
You've seen that?
Of course I have. How proud and free he looked. Standing there, tying the wreath to the wither vein.
Oh, I heard that he'd once gone up. Just that once in his lifetime. Among us younger men, talking about it, it's almost a legend now. But no power on earth could get him to do it again.
He will do it again.
No,
today.
sure. Tell me another.
Oh, we are going to see it.
Oh, neither you nor I will like to speak with him.
Oh, yes, yes, dear, do that. No. Don't say anything like that. You can say that somebody's here and he shall come at once.
Good. I'll take care of it, Mrs. Solness.
Oh, Miss Wangel, you can't imagine how anxious I am about him.
But is there anything here really to be afraid of?
Of course! It's obvious. Suppose he goes through with this seriously. Of course! It's obvious. Suppose he goes through with this seriously and tries to climb that scaffolding.
You think he might?
One just never knows what he'll come up with. He could easily do anything.
Ah, so you do think he's somewhat...
I don't know what to think about him anymore. The doctor has been telling me so much now, and when I put it all together with one thing and another that I've heard him say,
Isn't he coming right up?
Yes, I guess so. In any case, I've sent after him.
But I think you'd better go in, Mrs. Solness.
No, I'll stay out here and wait for Halvard.
Yes, but some ladies are here asking for you.
Good Lord, that too. And right at this moment. Oh.
They say they absolutely must see the ceremony.
Oh, well, I suppose I ought to go into them. After all, it's my duty.
Can't you just invite them to move on?
Oh, no, that wouldn't do.
Oh.
Now that they're here, it's my duty to make them welcome. But you stay here a while until he comes.
Yes, and try to hold him here talking as long as possible.
Yes, do try, Miss Wangle, dear. Hold him Yes, do try, Miss Wangle, dear. Hold him as hard as you can.
Aren't you the one who is... Aren't you the one who ought to be doing that?
Oh, Lord, yes, it's my duty, I know. But when you have duties in so many directions, then...
There he comes.
Oh, my. And I have to go in.
Don't say anything about my being here.
I hear someone wants me.
Yes, I am the someone, Mr. Solness.
Oh, it's you, Hilda. I was afraid it would be Arlene and the doctor.
You are pretty easily frightened, I guess.
You think so?
Yes, people say you are afraid of... Yes, people say you are afraid to go clambering around like up on scaffolds.
Well, that's a special case.
But are you afraid? It's true then?
Yes, I am.
Afraid of falling and killing yourself?
No, not that.
What then?
Afraid of retribution, Hilda.
Of retribution? I don't follow that.
Sit down and I will tell you something.
Yes, do. Right now.
You know that I first started out with building churches?
I know that, of course.
Because you see, as a boy, I came from a poised home out in the country. That's why the building of churches seemed to me the noblest thing I could do with my life.
Go on.
And I think I can say that I built those poor country churches in so honest and warm and fervent a spirit that the whole
That's
thing,
what?
that I feel he should have been pleased with me.
He? Who is he?
He who was to have the churches, of course. He is who honor and glory they served.
I see. But are you sure that he wasn't well pleased with you?
He pleased with me. What are you saying, Hilda? He who turned the troll in me loose to stuff its pocket. He who put on call right around the... right around the clock for me. All these
Devils.
Yes, both kinds. Oh no, I pretty well got the idea he wasn't pleased with me. Actually, that's why he had the old house burned.
That's why?
Yes, don't you see? He wanted me to have the chance to become a complete master in my own realm and enhance his glory with still greater churches. At first, I didn't understand what he was after, but then, all at once, it dawned on me.
What was that?
When I was building...
When was that?
When I was building the church tower in Lisanga.
I thought so.
For you see, Hilda, up in those strange surroundings, I used to go around musing and pondering inside myself. And saw then clearly why he had taken my children from me. It was to keep me from becoming attached to anything else. Anything like love and happiness. That is, I was only to build a master. That is, I was only to be a master builder, nothing else. And all my life through, I was to go on building for him. But that never got very far.
What did you do then?
First, I searched my heart, tested myself.
And then?
Then I did the impossible, and no less than he.
Oh, the impossible?
I would never think I could.
Yes, you could.
And when I stood right up at the very top, hanging the wreath, I said to him, hear me, thou Almighty. From this day on, I will be free creator, free in my own realm, as you are in yours. And I will build no more churches for you, only homes for human beings.
That was the singing I heard in the air.
Yes, but his mill went right on grinding.
What do you mean by that?
This building homes for human beings, it's not worth a bent pin, Hilda.
Oh, you really feel that now?
Yes, because now I see it. Human beings don't know how to use these homes of theirs, not for being happy in. And I would have found use for a home like that either, if I had one. So that's the sum total. As far back as I can see, nothing really built, and nothing sacrificed for the chance to build. Nothing. It all comes to nothing.
Then will you never build anything again?
Why? I'm just now beginning.
With what? What will you build? Tell me.
The one thing human beings can be happy in. That's what I am building now.
Master builder. You mean our castles in the air?
Castles in the air, yes.
I am afraid you would be dizzy before we got halfway up.
Not if I went hand in hand with you, Hilda.
With me? Won't we have company?
Who else?
Oh, that Kaja at the decks. Poor thing. Don't you want her to come along?
Oh, so she was the subject of Alan's little talk.
Is it true or isn't it?
I wouldn't answer a question like that. You have to trust me, absolutely.
For 10 years I've trusted you, utterly.
You have to keep trusting me.
Then let me see you high and free,
Oh.
up there.
Hilda, I am not up to that very day.
I want you to. I want that. Just once more, Master Builder. Do the impossible again.
If I did try it, Hilda, I will stand up there and talk to him same as before.
What would you say to him?
I'll say to him, hear me, Almighty God. You must judge me after your own wisdom. But from now on, I will build only what's most beautiful in the world.
Yes!
Build it together with a princess that I love.
Oh, tell him that. Tell him.
Yes, and then I'll say to him, I'll go. Yes, and then I'll say to him, I am going down now and throw my arms about her and kiss her.
Many times. Say that.
Many times, I'll say.
And then?
Then I'll swing my heart in the air and come down to earth here and do as I said.
Oh, now I see you as if there was singing in the air.
Yes. How did you ever become what you are, Hilda?
How have you made me into what I am?
The princess shall have a castle.
Oh, Mr. Sonus, my lovely, lovely castle. A castle in the air.
On a solid foundation.
There'll be music too.
Yes, they are from the Building Trades Association. I'm supposed to tell you from the foreman that he's ready to go up now with the wreath.
Oh, good. I'll go down now myself.
What are you going to do there, Albert?
I've got to be down below with the men.
Yes, down below. Please stay down below.
Don't I always, as a normal rule?
Oh, but you must tell the man to be careful climbing. Promise me, Albert.
You see, I was right. He has forgotten all about that craziness.
Oh, what a relief. We've had men fall there twice now. And both times they were killed on the spot. Thank you so much, Miss Wangel, for taking hold of him like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I never could have managed it.
You know, Miss Wangel, you have a gift for taking hold of a man. That you shouldn't hide.
Miss Wangel, do you see all the young people down there in the street?
Yes.
They are my fellow students. Come to look at the master.
Why do they want to look at him?
They want to see him afraid to climb up on his own house.
So that's what the boys want.
Oh, he's kept us down now so long. Now we are going to see him have the pleasure of keeping himself down.
You are not going to see it. Not today.
Really? And where will we see him?
High up by the weather vane. That is where.
No. Him? Oh, I bet.
His will is to climb straight to the top. And that is where you will see him too.
Oh, his will. Yes. Sure. That I believe. But he simply can't do it. His head will be swimming before he was even halfway up. He would have to crawl down again on his hands and knees.
Look, there goes the foreman up the ladder.
And he's got the wreath to carry too. Oh, if you'll only take care.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's
the master builder himself.
Oh, yes, it's Albert. Oh my God. Albert. Albert.
Shh, don't shout at him.
I'll go to him. Get him down again.
All of you, don't move.
Yeah. He's climbing and climbing. Always higher. Always higher. Look. Just look.
now he's got to turn back. It's all he can do.
He's climbing and climbing. He's almost there.
Oh, I'll die of fright. I can't bear to look.
Then don't watch him.
There he is. On the highest planks. Straight to the top.
Nobody move, you hear me?
At last. Now I can see him great and free again.
Oh, but this is...
All these 10 years I've seen him like this. Now he stands strong. Terribly thrilling after all. Look at him. Now he's hanging the wreath on the vane.
Oh, I feel like I'm seeing something here. That's impossible.
Yes, it's the impossible now. That's his doing. Do you see anyone up there with him?
There's nobody else.
Yes, there is someone he's struggling with.
No, you are mistaken.
You don't hear singing in the air either.
Oh, it must be the wind in the treetops.
I hear the singing. A tremendous music. Look. He's waved his hat. He's waving down here. Oh, wave back up to him. Oh, hooray, Master Builder Sones. Hooray!
Stop! It's in God's name, stop!
He's falling. He's falling.
My Master Builder.
Oh! He must have been smashed to bits. Killed on the spot.
No.
Run down to the doctor.
Run down to the doctor.
I can't move.
Oh no.
Call down to someone, Ben. Call down to someone.
How is it? Is he alive?
His whole head's been crushed. He fell right into the quarry.
Mr. Sones is dead.
I can't see him up there anymore.
How horrible this is. And so, after all, he really